welcome to another edition of TWM Talks. My guest is the wonderful and probably one of the most deadly women on the planet, definitely in the UK, Lana. Welcome.
Hi, thank
Hi.
you for having me.
No problem. How are you? How have you found sort of recent times and pandemic and everything?
Yeah, it's been a bit sometimes boring, sometimes a bit like missing wrestling, but I've loved being at home with the kids so much, so
Lovely.
it's been
Cool.
good. I've been wrestling for near enough, I think, going on 8 years now, and like that's a lot of time away from the kids. So to be able to be at home for all this time, it's been pretty nice.
Is this the longest time you've had away from the ring?
Yes, definitely.
Right. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So let's kind of start with the beginning. For people who don't know your journey, you kind of had that ideal wrestling fan dream of having a ring in your parents' back garden. So
Yeah.
just kind of talk about that and tell me how all that happened.
Well, we started. Me and my brother would wrestle in high school at first. Like we'd show a couple of moves off to our friends and everything, and everyone would think it was cool. So then on the school field, which is just across from my house, my parents' house, we started to kind of build a wrestling ring on there. Like we'd had old carpets, mattresses, and we'd lay that out, and then every time we'd have to pack it all back up and put it in the neighbour's back garden because it would look like someone fly tipped if we left it out. Like it was so messy, but to us we loved it.
Yeah.
So then it started like that, and then we was young and stupid, and building sites where they have the railings around. We stole four of them to make a cage. So we made a cage, but then my younger sister grassed on us to my mum, and then my mum was like, right, going too far, this needs to stop. You can build a wrestling ring in the back garden where I can keep an eye on you.
How did you manage to steal the fencing?
I can't remember. It was my brother that got them. So my brother and his mate. So I'm not sure how they got it. I just remember going onto the field and going, oh my God, we can have cage matches now. So I didn't ask any questions. I was just like, this is so cool.
Right. So when did you
that
first
must have been
Go on.
Sorry. I think that must have been about probably 20 years ago, or more than that.
Right. So when did you first start watching wrestling?
I started watching wrestling proper when I started getting obsessed with it. Was more like 1999, 2000.
Right.
My dad was always a fan of it, and my dad always watched it. So I always from a young age, I remember the Undertaker and the Ultimate Warriors. I just remember his entrance for some reason. I don't know if it's because of how the energy and everything and the bright colours. And then I remember the Undertaker because he was really scary. So I remember that growing up. And then my brothers had all the toys and the wrestling ring. They had WWE, WWF wallpaper. So my brothers were always fans of it. But then I kind of got obsessed with it in 1999, 2000.
Right. So what was the first show you remember watching, the first big pay-per-view?
The first pay-per-view, and it's still my favourite now, was Fully Loaded 2000. Yeah. Was it Fully Loaded 99? The Hardy Boys and Lita open up the show against TNA and Trish.
2000.
I think it's 2000. Yeah, it's 2000. Yeah, that was my first one. I remember I slept at my friend's house, and we tried to stay awake all night to watch it live, but we both fell asleep. So then I watched it the next day, and I was like, I just loved it, and that's when
it was on. It was on Channel 4, wasn't it, at that point?
Yes. Yeah, it was on Channel 4, and we were so excited, and we tried staying up, but we both fell asleep. But then I watched it the next day.
So we kind of both watched it at the same time, because I started, my first pay-per-view was Armageddon 99 with Vince and Triple H in the No Holds Barred match, a couple of months before that one.
Yeah.
So what kind of made you want to literally get into a ring in the back garden and do it?
From doing it on the back garden, and we loved it. I remember when we had it on the field across the road, we even tried to get all our parents to come and watch us. So they all sat on this cold field kind of thing. Only about, I think, 4 parents turned up, and it was we had no ropes or anything like that. It was just mattresses and old carpet put down, and we were just doing all these moves because we didn't really know how to plan a match or anything. So I'm very grateful to our parents for watching it and sticking there and pretending to enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely health and safety at that point,
Yeah. But then when we built it in the back garden, my brother went a little bit crazy with it, and we got some pallets, and we built it off the ground. So then it was off the ground. Right. We made ropes. They weren't the best ropes, but they were better than no ropes. Yeah. My brother built something where we could actually get on the top rope and jump off, and it was safe, kind of. But then my brother started to like cement the corners into the back garden, my parents' back garden, and that's when my mum was like, right, you're going too far with this as well.
Like ruin their garden just so you could do it.
We ruined the garden, ruined it.
So when did you kind of decide to do it properly and actually go and do training in a proper school?
Well, I kind of got out of wrestling a little bit because I started like I grew up, I had kids, and then when I was pregnant with my third child, my brother had started training at Grand Pro Wrestling.
Oh, right.
He'd found the training school and he started training. Then all through my pregnancy, he was like, "You need to come to the school. You need to come and train." And I was like, "Okay." As soon as I had the baby, I'll give it a try and I'll see what I think. So then I think might have been 5 or 6 weeks after having my youngest son, I started training, and then I was there every Sunday.
Right. Have you got 3 boys?
I've got 1 girl and 2 boys.
Right. So are they into wrestling as well?
Not at the moment. They're kind of into Fortnite more at the moment.
Right. Okay.
So they go through little phases. Like my daughter's she's not really a wrestling fan. She likes coming watching the independent shows and things like that, but she's not really into wrestling.
Right.
My 2 boys they go through stages of being absolutely obsessed with it. So I'm just waiting for them to come back round to being obsessed with it. And
okay. Are you going to train
obsessed with Fortnite?
Are you going to train them or have like a little Austin tag team?
Oh yeah, this totally should be. My son Jeff, he's 12 now, and he's great. He's so good. Like he gets in the ring and he's got no fear at all. He'll be jumping all over the place, jumping off the top rope, rolling. Like he's so cool.
Nice. So when did you decide that you wanted to do this then as an actual career, not just kind of training when you could, you know what I mean?
Pardon, sorry.
Like when did you decide you wanted to do this as a proper career?
Well, when I first started training, it was like, oh, this is going to be the best hobby ever. Like, I only thought there was like 1 training school and 1 show. Like, I didn't realize like there was a whole independent scene. Like, and I was excited about it. So yeah, I just loved training as well. I loved being at training. Like, if that would have ended there, and then like I didn't go further, I still would have been happy that I got to go and wrestle in a real wrestling ring and learn how to do, you know, what to do and what moves I want to do. So yeah, but I absolutely loved it.
What would you have done if you hadn't have done it as a career?
Don't know, probably just karaoke all the time in the pub.
We'll get to the karaoke bit.
That would have been my career. That would have been my career. Pub singing.
Like, see you on Britain's Got Talent and stuff.
Yeah, totally. I won't get through, but you know, you'd see me on there. You'd see me having fun.
Okay. So, how long have you been wrestling for now? It's like 8 years, 8, 9 years?
8 years, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
So, did you?
I started training when I was 25, and I'm 34 now.
Right. So, did you expect to have such a long career so far in a career that actually has been quite successful as well?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I didn't expect any of it. So anything that I get is like just a shock and amazing to me.
Yeah. So you wrestled for NXT UK like 2 years ago now?
Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago.
What was that experience?
I'm not good with dates and remembering numbers and everything, me.
Fair enough. What was that experience like for you?
Oh, it was great. It was a really nice experience. I loved being there. Like, we got feedback from like Shawn Michaels afterwards and things like that. So that was like, if I don't ever wrestle again now, I can be like, spoke to Shawn Michaels. I'm cool. It's cool. I'm happy.
Would you say that's kind of the highlight, like the big highlight of your career so far?
One of them, yeah, definitely.
Right. Was another one going to Japan?
Yeah.
So
also other things that I would like when I wrestled for Impact, that was an amazing experience as well. The whole day with that was like amazing, and you know, other places and people I've worked with have always been. I've got so many highlights.
Yeah. So tell me about Japan, because I actually was at the Future Shock show when you came back. I think it was like a week later from Japan.
Yeah.
So just tell me about Japan, the whole experience and being out there for a while.
Oh, it was great. I was out there by myself for 2 weeks, which was a bit scary and a bit lonely sometimes and everything, especially when my kids were like ringing me, because I think I'd be going to bed when they wake up in the morning kind of thing. So like we couldn't talk loads and stuff like that because they had to get to school. But so that was kind of like, it was all right at first, but then they started missing me more and wanting me to come home and stuff like that. So it got a little bit lonely sometimes. But then everyone over there, all the women over there, and they were just amazing and treated me amazing as well.
Did you kind of feel like an outsider, if you know what I mean? Because it was your first time, you didn't really know anyone.
No, not really. No, not really. They did make me feel. They made me feel so welcome. All of them. Like a few of the girls took me for food, and then we went karaoke because they knew that I loved karaoke. So I felt like I'd made some really good friends over there. Some best friends.
Is it something you're looking to do again?
Yeah, I'd love to. Definitely, I would love to, and maybe go over there and be less nervous this time. Now that I've done it. Now that I've done it and I've experienced it and I know what I'm going to expect, I'd love to do it again and be like, right, I know what I'm doing. I'm ready for this. I can do this.
Did you bring home the tape that they throw at you in the ring? Because there's a video of you like.
No, but a fan over there bought me some in a little packet, like rolled up, and I brought that home with me.
Oh, nice. So, what was it like, kind of wrestling out there compared to wrestling in the UK?
It was kind of this. I felt like it was kind of the same. Like I was a bit worried. That because of the language barrier that I was like putting so much pressure on myself, thinking, oh my God, what do I do if I get something wrong? What do I do if I mess up and I make them look bad in the match because I don't understand like what they're saying or how to plan it and things like that. But it was so easy. It was really good and very understanding. So it was all right.
Cool. Okay, so let's talk about sort of the last 6 months and everything that's happened. You know, you've been out of the ring. I guess everyone's been out of everything for the past 6 months. So how have you found it? You know, you said you found it boring, but you know, apart from that, how have you found not being able to do what you want to do?
I did go to training a couple of weeks ago for the first time, and then my whole body was killing me afterwards, like for 2 days. Like I went and got a massage and some acupuncture done on my neck and my shoulders because I was like, oh, wow. But it made me miss it. It made me miss it and made me excited for when we're able to come back. But I think my body needed a bit of a break from it as well. For wrestling near enough every Friday, Saturday, Sunday for 8 years, I think I needed a bit of a rest. Fair
enough. So obviously the last 6 months has also been a lot of development in British wrestling. What have you made of sort of speaking out movement and all the involvement of the government and all that kind of thing that's taken place?
I think it's amazing. I think it's really good. I'm so glad so many people spoke up and things like that. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that there's going to be a big change. I really do. What
kind of changes do you want to see take place?
I want more female trainer. Like I think it'd be good to have more female. I would have loved a female trainer when I was first starting, because I was the only girl at training and things like that. I think it would have been a lot more. I would have felt more comfortable and at home and stuff if there was if there was female trainers as well. So I think that's a big thing going forward, that we could have more females involved.
Okay, and obviously you've got the government getting involved now as well. What you know, someone who's kind of inside the industry, what have people made of that?
I'm not really sure. I've not really seen much about it. Like I saw the BBC thing posted today, that's great coverage and things like that, and hopefully. You know, everyone's going to be taking it like if they weren't taking it serious, hopefully they will be now, and that there'll be changes.
Okay. So last thing sort of on the wrestling, what are your hopes, say the next 2-3 years? Where do you want to be in wrestling?
I just want to be one of the best in the UK. That's one of my main aims, is to be one of the best in the UK and keep learning and keep trying hard and keep getting better.
What's the hardest thing about having 3 kids and also traveling the world as well?
Just being tired quite a lot. Like I think I'm used to it now, but it's like on Fridays, if I've got a show on Friday, I'd get up with the kids, get them ready for school, get them to school, then head off to the show, sort out somebody picking them up from school if my mum or whatever would pick them up from school, and then making sure that they've definitely been picked up. Like I'm always on the phone checking that everything's okay and things like that. And then just tired.
Fair enough. So
that's why I've enjoyed the break. I've not had to get up on a Friday and rush about and things like that. So that's been nice.
You've actually been able to have a bit of a lie-in in the morning, and
that's oh god, yes, yes. So many lie-ins. Even though the kids still wake up quite early, that's a bit annoying.
Yeah, I'm jealous of that. Mine's 19 months and just won't sleep.
No, like you think, I think right, if I let them stay up an extra hour, they might wake up an extra hour later in the morning. But no, it doesn't work like that.
Never.
Doesn't work.
So away from the ring, what do you do apart from karaoke? What do you kind of do for fun, like hobbies and stuff?
Not really, not that much. Like I do a lot of stuff. I try and do a lot of stuff with the kids when I can, and things like we like going to like Blackpool for a weekend and things like that. Like this year, I was like, right, I'm going to take a bit of not do as many shows. I'm going to spend more time with the kids, and we're going to go out and do loads of fun things. But then everything got shut down, so I was spending more time with the kids, but we weren't able to do a lot of fun things. So
it's not in the way you wanted.
No.
So karaoke. You are a little bit obsessed. A little bit obsessed.
I love
with
it.
Karaoke. Yeah. Why?
I just have so much fun. Like even when I'm not out and I'm in my house, and I love doing it because I've got a really cool karaoke machine which has got a disco ball on it and everything. It's so cool. But even when I'm at home, I just love singing. It makes me feel happy. It makes me feel very happy.
Was that ever something you kind of wanted to do properly?
No, because I can't sing.
I was going to say you've got some stuff on Instagram and you've got a good voice.
Yeah, I can sing. I can sing like 2 or 3 songs. 2 or 3 of my favorite songs. I can sing okay, but I'm not like amazing or anything. Like, but it's nice to be in the pub and you sing and everyone's wasted and you get off and all the guys are like, oh my god, that is so amazing. That is so amazing. You should be on Britain's Got Talent or whatever. And I'm just like, this is why I love drunk people. They tell me even if I sound bad, they're telling me I sound great. So it's a very nice feeling.
Especially in Manchester, where drunk people are really nice.
Yeah.
So, kind of a couple of quick fire questions. Actually, no, there's one question we got from Twitter, which I have to ask you. If you were fighting a load of ducks, this is a weird question. How many ducks do you think it would take for you to be overawed by ducks before you would lose the fight?
Oh, the duck question.
The duck question.
The duck question. I didn't know what to write back to that, but I do have a video. I was going to post a video of some ducks chasing me when I was trying to feed them, but I couldn't find the video because I would be like, I'm not fighting. No ducks. No, I'm gone straight away. As soon as you give them a little bit of bread and they all come, I'm gone.
Oh, okay. The toughest woman in the UK is scared of ducks. I'm just putting it out there. Okay.
Yeah, they're scary. They all like band together to come and try and get your bread.
Okay. I don't know where to go with that one. So, a couple of quick fire questions that we do to everyone that we have on these podcasts. Just say the first answer that comes into your head. Okay. So, who's your favourite opponent?
Cailler.
Why Cailler? Go on.
She has an amazing mind for wrestling. Like I think I've said this in a podcast before as well. Like when I wrestle, especially when I was first starting out, and I got to wrestle her sometimes. I would say, okay, this is what I want to do. This is my idea. And then she'd help me to make that idea better. So then when I'm going forward in matches, I'd be like, okay, Cailler said, put this in there. And it makes so much more sense and it flows so much better. So, and I think I carried on doing that in other matches and stuff like that. And and it's not even like big things. It's just little things that I would have never thought about. I'd love to have her I'd love to have her brain. I really would.
I was going to say, so who did you learn the psychology side of it off? Because there's one thing just getting in the ring, but then there's a whole different world in psychology.
I think with like everybody who you get in the ring with, you learn something and then getting feedback from people afterwards as well. Like I ask everybody, I ask the referee, I ask everybody about like if they've got any feedback and things like that. And I think that's just what helped me make things make more sense.
Okay. So favorite promotion that's not WWE to wrestle for?
Grand Pro Wrestling.
Okay. Why?
Not just because it's like my home thing. Just because when I first started training, they didn't have any girls that trained there. They'd not had a women's match for 5 years on their shows, and it was a place for me to prove them wrong about women's wrestling. Not that they hated women's wrestling or anything. They just, they just didn't book it. And I was like, I want to prove that that women's wrestling should be on the shows, and and every storyline I've been put in there, every match I've been put in, I've loved, and they've made me feel great there. Okay. And now there's women wrestling on it all the time, and now there's a lot of women trainees as well.
Does that make you proud that you virtually changed that promotion just by yourself, essentially? I
don't feel like I changed it by myself. I don't think so. Like I'll ask the promoter. I'll see what he says. And you best say something nice. But yeah, I feel like I'm hoping like I did help, but I don't think it was me by myself. I think like my brother was big on like telling everyone like, you know, she's here for wrestling. Like she loves wrestling. Just because she's a girl doesn't mean she's here for other reasons. She's here for like my brother had my back so much when I first started training.
Would you be where you are? Would you be where you are without your brother?
No, definitely not.
Okay. What's your brother's name?
Definitely not. I'd be in the pub singing karaoke if it wasn't for my brother. So you know, my brother's wrestling name is LA Austin. We're joint tag team champs at Grand Pro Wrestling. Okay. It's the first time like that they've had a woman as a tag champ and stuff like that. So it's good.
So favorite British male wrestler.
Favorite British male wrestler.
Yes.
Zach Gibson.
Okay. Favorite female that you've not wrestled.
British.
Yeah.
That I've not wrestled. Oh, my God. Why do I not remember her name? Can we cut this part out as well? Ask me that question again in a minute. Let me just. Debbie. Oh, she's not British. She's Irish.
Yeah, she is Irish. Although everyone kind of counts her as British, to be fair, because she's on like.
No, she's Irish. She's made that thing on Twitter. She's Irish.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, but I would love. We've only ever been in a tag team like faced against each other, but we really want to wrestle each other in a singles match. So I would love to wrestle Debbie.
Okay. So who would be your dream opponent if you could pick anyone, retired or not?
Lita.
Okay. Have you ever met Lita?
Definitely Lita. Yes, I've met her once.
Where was that?
It was at PCW.
Cool.
Yeah, it was amazing. Okay. I was so nervous.
Fair enough. So if you could pick any song to be your entrance theme, what would it be?
I wouldn't change it from Venga Boys. Boom, boom, boom.
Good answer. Why is it Venga Boys?
I don't, because I loved in my house the Venga Boys were played quite a lot. Like my brothers and my sister, we all loved the going to a beef song and things like that. So we all loved it, and then I just think it gets the crowd happy. It gets me happy before I come through the curtain and stuff. It gets me like, right, I'm ready for this. So yeah, I won't change that song. And I don't think I'd ever be able to change the song either. I think everyone knows it as my song. So yeah.
So last 3 questions. First of all, cats or dogs?
Cats. Wait, look. Ugh.
Oh, how did I not see that until just now?
He's called Joker. Oh. I have a cat called Harley and he's Joker.
He looks so happy.
He's my little cutie.
Oh, how old is he?
He's not even 1 yet.
Oh, wow, he's big. Really big.
Yeah, he's quite big.
I was going to say mine's 7 and she's like that big. She's like really small.
Oh, but yeah, I've got 4 cats, so yeah, definitely cats. I do love dogs though as well, but I'm more of a cat person. Okay,
fair enough. So if you could change one thing in British wrestling, what would it be?
In what? Sorry.
In British wrestling.
Oh God. Oh God, that's a hard question.
I like to put people on the spot.
Yeah. Apart from all the speaking out stuff, I hope that all like that's the main thing for changing. But I don't know. I honestly don't know. I can't think of anything. That's a hard question, that one.
We'll come back to it.
What have other people said?
They haven't. This is the first time I've asked it.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Thanks for that.
Right. Okay. If you could sum up your career in one sentence, how would you sum it up?
Absolutely amazing, great, awesome. That's all one sentence, isn't it?
Technically 4 sentences, but we'll go with it.
No, that's one sentence, I think.
All right. It's 4. But anyway.
No, we'll let people judge that on the internet then, shall we?
All right. Actually, one more thing. The picture that we posted on Twitter of you with M&Ms, explain that picture.
When I'm doing my entrances, or even when I'm in my match, like sometimes I don't think, like I said to you before, like sometimes I don't think before I do things or say things. Like I'll just do things. And I have a habit of when I see people eating in the crowd, especially when they're on the front row, I will steal their food and eat it myself. I've done it with popcorn. I've done it with thing. And then another reason why I love that picture so much is I was getting called fat quite a lot on the internet. Like a lot of people was calling me fat. So then that picture, I was like, that's I don't care that I'm curvy or big or thick, whatever. Like, I like chocolate. I like my food. I'll eat what I want, and I don't care. So that was my I don't care picture to the people that were calling me fat. So
how do you kind of deal with your hate and the Twitter abuse that people inevitably get?
It used to get to me quite a lot. Like there were times where I'd just be like, I want to delete all my social media and things like that. But then I just like, especially on my Instagram, because I have a big following on my Instagram. If I see any negative comments, I'll just delete the comment straight away.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I just delete it. It's like, I don't want to read it. I don't care. It's not bothered me. Like, goodbye.
That is a good message for the Twitter trolls, to be fair.
Yeah. I don't really do Twitter much. I don't really like Twitter.
That's true. Okay. Fair enough. All right. Brilliant.
Instagram is the best.
So on that note, give out your Instagram, Twitter name, all your socials and stuff where people can find you.
Instagram and Twitter is Lana_Austin1.
Okay. TikTok?
I think that I've not really used my TikTok in ages.
I hate it. Not yours, I mean just
why?
TikTok in general. Can't bloody stuff, mate.
Have you ever seen any of mine? My
No,
videos?
that's embarrassing. Probably not. Then.
No. So you should watch some of them. But I was doing, like, before it was TikTok, it was called Musical.ly. And then they changed Musical.ly to TikTok.
Yeah.
And it was just so much better. I liked it better when it was Musical.ly, and it was like they had funner videos and stuff like that. But I love doing them with the kids. Like
we reposted one of your Musical.ly ones. Was it when he did the Titanic?
Oh yeah.
Was it yeah, okay. So we ripped that off your Musical.ly and put it onto our Twitter, and it went massive.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was very fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's so good, that one. I did the Tom Cruise one as well, where he slides across the
Yes.
That's one of my favourites.
I remember
I loved my Tom Cruise one.
See, I have watched some of your videos.
Yeah, okay. Watch them all.
All right. Brilliant. Thank you very much for your time, and I wish you the best of luck in the future.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Goodbye.
Bye.